Beloved Saints, today's 5-minute message of redemptive history is about Gath from the third book of Redemptive History series, The Unquenchable Lamp of the Covenant. David was afraid of King Saul, so he rose up from Nob, the third place of refuge, and went to Achish, king of Gath in Philistia. This is in 1 Samuel 21, verse 10. Gath was the fourth place of refuge, and it was located about 23 miles southwest of Nob, and it was one of the 5 cities of the Philistines. Out of the 5, it was the easternmost city, so Gath was the closest to Judah. 1 Samuel 17 verse 4 tells us that Goliath the Philistine was also from Gath. The reason David fled to Gath was because it was close by, and because he thought that Saul would not pursue him all the way into the territory of his own enemy. However, when David arrived at Gath, there was a problem. Achish's servants recognized David as the man who had killed Goliath the Philistine and reported it to the king. At that moment, how did David avoid and escape that situation? Well, David greatly feared Achish, so he disguised his sanity before them. He barely saved his life by acting insane, scribbling on the doors of the gate and letting his saliva run down into his beard. In 1 Samuel 21 verses 13 to 15 it says, "So David pretended to be insane in their presence, and while he was in their hands he acted like a madman, making marks on the doors of the gate and letting saliva run down his beard. Achish said to his servants, 'Look at the man, he is insane. Why bring him to me? Am I so short of madman that you have to bring this fellow here to carry on like this in front of me? Must this man come into my house?'" In the future, David wrote Psalms chapter 34 as he reminisced about his dramatic escape from King Achish of Gath. The heading for Psalms 34 states, "A psalm of David when he feigned madness before Abimelech, who drove him away and he departed." Here, Abimelech is a common name for the Philistine king, and it is referring to Achish, king of Gath. In Psalms 34 verse 4, David says, "I sought the Lord, and he answered me, and delivered me from all my fears." In Psalms 34 verse 6, David says, "This poor man cried, and the Lord heard him, and saved him out of all his troubles." When it was known that David was the one who had killed Goliath, he found himself in a terribly volatile situation. In that life-threatening moment, it was through God's answer to his prayers that David was able to feign insanity and escape alive. Everyone, David received concrete and immediate answers as he found himself facing death. So he proclaimed in Psalms 34 verse 5, "They looked to him and were radiant, and their faces shall never be ashamed." In a different CSB version it says, "Those who look to him are radiant with joy. Their faces will never be ashamed." Everyone, surrounded by enemies who sought to kill him, David suffered tremendously from the fear of being killed. Yet he realized that even this suffering was God's grace given to him according to his providence, and thus he confessed that he would trust in the Lord to the end. Psalms 56 also records about the time when David was captured by the Philistines in Gath. In Psalms 56 verses 3 to 4 it says, "When I am afraid, I put my trust in you. In God, whose word I praise. In God I trust and am not afraid. What can mere mortals do to me?" Beloved saints, even if you are surrounded by hardships and persecutions, when we sincerely pray to God in our heart with His Spirit, then God will solve all of our problems by giving us His wisdom, and our dangers will change into opportunity, and our fearful hearts will be transformed into a thankful heart. Today, let us rely only on God, rely only on the Word of God, and let us be victorious today. I bless in the name of the Lord.